So the number one best-selling system, we've actually done all of these parts here in the previous slide. But how do we get to bestseller? These are the 3 parts that we need to cover. And I'll go through each of these in detail later on. So we need to do a list build launch page. So we have to have a page created to build a list of people, names and email addresses, to connect with people. We also, and this is really important, we need to create a free bonus. And I'll tell you what bonuses work best. If you can't be bothered to create the bonus yourself, you can find one somewhere else. But we need to have, on the launch date, a bonus that we're going to give people, as well as the book. So we're going to give them the book, but we're also going to give them a bonus. Now, this is an exclusive bonus. You're not going to give it thereafter. It's for a limited period of time, but it has to be worth, in my opinion, a decent amount of money. £197, £297, something of great value, and it has to be relevant to the book subject.
Can you give us an example?
I'll give you some examples. This afternoon, I'll do a section on creating free bonuses. The best kind of bonus is an online training course. However, that's a lot of work for you to do. So you could do that because you can record videos if you want to, but there's a couple of alternatives which I think would be quicker, and I'll cover them this afternoon. And then we've got the Amazon book launch day. When you're launching it, and the aim is on the day of launch, you get to number one bestseller. That's the aim, is on the day you're number one. Job done. Okay, and I'll explain how to do that. That's the fun bit, I think. So writing and publishing the book is obviously the hard part. This bit here is the fun part, getting to number one. Now on the launch day, you need to make sure you check your book's sales rank every hour. Amazon's ranking system updates every hour. And when you become a number one bestseller, you get an orange badge. I'll show you what it looks like. You get an orange badge on your page for the length of time you're a number one bestseller. Screenshot it. As soon as you become number one, screenshot it, you've done your job. Okay, all finished. You've got to number one, and you can start using that. You can even then start using a badge like this on your books. You can put number one best-selling book by you, the author. So, before we stop for a break, on the previous action plan, I put this up, the competition and weaknesses. A competition and weaknesses. Now, some of you will have seen this before. Just to quickly recap what I mean by that. So, when I was writing my Fire Brigade books and my Armed Forces, people were saying to me, can you give me more test questions? People would email me, because I had my contact details in the book, can you give me more tests? I was like, yeah, okay, cool, there's an opportunity, I'll write a book. So they wanted tests for getting into the Armed Forces, so I decided to do a book on it. I went on to Amazon, following my action plan, having a look at the competition, and this book was already on there. That's the cover design, and that's the title, Practice Test for the Armed Forces. What do you think of this cover? Rubbish. Okay, my personal opinion was it could be improved. What about the title? Would people search for that? How do we know though? Use the Google Keyword Planner. So I went on the Google Keyword Planner. Nobody was searching for that, but that amount of people, nearly 15,000 people, were searching for that. So that's the power of the Google Keyword Planner tool. That's the book that I did. What would you do then? This starts to sell really well. So you've blown the competition out the water. You're selling really well. And this is a good tip that the majority, and I mean the mass majority of authors don't do. They come up with a great book idea. What would you do next? Yeah, good. You said 2 words at the beginning.
Repeat it.
Yeah. Compete with yourself. So do another version with different content, but on the same subject. Why wouldn't you do that?
Different content on the same.
Yeah, so with this, it's about different test questions. So I just did a whole load more test questions. Dominate the top mark. So when people search for it, you're right at the top.
So the next one might be called Armed Forces Test and More.
Part 2.
Yeah,
second part. Now you can also repeat that on YouTube. So if you go onto YouTube and type in like police officer interview questions, I dominate. I've just done different questions and similar information, different tips. It's different content, it's not the same.
Probably puts people is so big
And that's what I
now.
was going to come on to.
Yeah.
So protecting your environment. I mean, initially, and I'm not suggesting to do this, I know Simon used to do it, was buy domain names. So I bought like 300 domain names. But now it's a lot harder to rank than it used to be. So I've let some of them go, but I still own about 200 domain names that are relevant to my subject matter. And it's all about protecting your environment. But if something works and there's demand, do it again.